Hello, friends. We are often impressed by the stories of the great people. Like when we are told about the small stories pertaining to great people like Mahatma Gandhi, Shivaji, or Abraham Lincoln, or Roosevelt, we are very much impressed about those stories. Why? Because when the ordinary stories are told in the form of movies and fiction, we know that those characters are fictitious characters and those stories are totally imaginary. But when the stories connected to the real people are told to us, then we tend to believe on those stories. So, should we not believe it? And what is the problem in that? So, that we are going to learn today. The stories about the real people are often called anecdotes, and they are used by the motivational speakers to actually motivate a lot of people who are feeling depressed or who are suffering regular failure. So, what is the problem with that? So today we are going to learn about the half truths, the fallacies which is happening because of the half truths of the anecdotes and motivational stories. So let's understand first what is anecdotes. Now anecdotes are basically the short and interesting stories about the real people or events. And they are the dramatic version of the truth, where the main character is shown as a hero who has fought against the system, against all the failure, and ultimately came victorious. For example, you will find that a very poor person with a very trying condition succeed in becoming a president or prime minister or a multi-billionaire. Such stories become very, very popular. The message in these stories is that never lose hope, never give up. And if I can do it, then you can also do it. So these stories are actually having always a moral message and they motivate you and they are believed by most people. Why? Because they are connected with the real people. So what is the problem with these stories? Why I am calling this story or the anecdote as a fallacy? Because anecdotes basically represent half truth, and that is from the perspective of the person. They ignore the fact that for every person who succeeded by following the same methods as that man or woman, there are thousands people who fail to succeed by following the same method and they their life become miserable. For example, there was a movie called 12th Fail in Hindi, which was released recently, where an 12th fail student became an IPS officer, Indian Police Service officer. His name was Manoj Kumar Sharma. Now, this is a real story based on the real person. But the problem is that you have to understand that in the civil services examination, only one person out of 1,000 persons succeed. 1 million people apply for this job and less than 1,000 people get selected. So you can see that the chances of selection is just 0.1%. 999 people get rejected. And that too when you take into account all the brilliant people. But if you take the people who are 12th fail or having a very poor academic record, you will find that their success rate will be perhaps less than 1 in 10,000. So if you are motivated purely by these type of stories, then the chances that you will succeed is very less, and most likely you will not succeed. Spend maybe 10 years of your life preparing for it, and ultimately your life will become miserable because you would have missed lots of opportunities which would have been there for you depending upon your caliber. So the point to understand is that for every success there are thousands of failure, but we don't discuss about that. In cognitive bias, we learned about survivorship bias. And this is a typical example of survivorship bias. This is a type of cognitive bias which occurs when we focus only on the survivor or the people who succeed in the challenging situation. And we totally ignore those people who failed or could not survive. And this basically leads to very inaccurate conclusion and distorted view of the reality. For example, if you want to see what is your chances of success if your 12th fail or maybe having an average academic, then you must collect the data. How many thousand people appeared, and out of that, how many people succeed? And that data, if you tell, then people will be able to know the truth. Just because one person has succeeded, it does not mean that anybody can succeed. So what happens when we present such type of a story, when we discuss only the success story and don't discuss the failure story, then people overestimate their chances of success, and when they don't succeed, they feel disappointment and depression. So why these anecdotes are fallacy? Because you have to understand that success depends upon multiple factors like intelligence, income, family background. Like in the 12th fail movie, the person was a brilliant person, but he came from a very poor background. He was studying in the government school. The quality of the education was not good. And so when he got the proper environment and worked hard, he got success. But if you're not that intelligent, and maybe you will not have the chance of success. Similarly, you have to also see that the luck plays very important role. For example, if you're born in the right place at the right time, your chances of success is very high. For example, Mahatma Gandhi, suppose he would have born today, perhaps he would not be able to win even the election of MLA, but he became the greatest leader of the freedom movement. If he would have born in, say, Germany, again, he would not have succeeded. He was born in the right place at the right time, so he succeeded. So his example cannot be emulated now, because today the same thing will not work. Even Gandhi will not succeed in today's time. Similarly, when you're writing an exam, suppose the question which you have prepared come in the examination, your chances of success is very high. Now, that can be a matter of luck also. You prepared 10 questions, same question came, you success. Similarly, if you are having the right talent and aptitude which is in demand, you are likely to succeed. So, what works in the particular situation or particular person may not work for everybody, because the time is different, place is different, situation is different, you are different. And this is something which we must always keep into mind. So, friends, we have to overcome this anecdotal fallacy. Just because somebody has succeeded or something has worked for one person, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for us also. If you want to know the truth, you have to rely upon the empirical data, because in the empirical data, both success stories and the failure stories are there. And from there, you can make a better estimation about the reality. At the same time, most important thing is that you should understand your own strength and weakness before taking a decision. Because don't compare yourself with other people. See your own talent, your own ability, your own aptitude, your situation, and then only take the decision. So this anecdotal fallacy is something which we should avoid. We should not be falsely motivated by such type of motivational stories. We must see the context, see ourselves, and then make the decision based on critical analysis and based on all the rational thinking. Thank you very much.